Hi, my name's Jeff Finke. I'm a carpenter in Northern California. Been a carpenter for 40 years. Today we're going to talk about plumb and line. All right, so the first thing we do when we start plumbing and lining buildings is make sure they're topped off, meaning you take the top plate and nail it down into the other wall. The other thing is to make sure the bottom plate is on line. So the other thing is make sure that both walls touch, top and bottom plate. Then we nail up the channels, make sure the channels are all nailed up. So one of the tools we use is a level. This is an extendo level. How we set that up, it's got to be from plate to plate. We do not want to go off a stud, something like this. This is a no-go. What we want to do is go plate to plate. So you just pull and extend, and we want to touch the bottom plate, okay? Once you do that, there's a lever up in here. Flick it forward, and now it's locked. Now we have an extended level. We want to always go from plate to plate when we're plumbing and lining. Okay? So first things we do, once we have all the top plate and the walls nailed off, our challenge all nailed off, and our bottom plate nailed off, what we want to do now is set up, the way I've done it in the past, we want to set up our braces, systematic system. Once they're in place, then we can start nailing them in place and start plumbing and lining. So when we start threading the braces, one of the few things we want to do is maintain distance from the corner. We want to hold it about 6 to 8 inches back. That way we can get our level into that corner without interfering with the brace. The other thing is it goes to the top plate down to the bottom plate. We never go from a middle of a stud or anything lower than the top plate to plumb and line. It's not as strong. Mike, you want to demonstrate? Hold it. So a few things we do is to make it easier is to start it down here, get my nails going here. All right, come up. The other thing for this is we never go above the top plate. That'll interfere with the ceiling joist or the rafters coming down. So once we have it in place, we hold it down. Okay, so this one's good to this corner. We would do the same to this corner here. So when we're putting braces on, we try to make sure nothing goes in front of a doorway, just like this. We would never run a brace unless it's absolutely necessary. We'd never run a brace like this. Interferes entrance. Most of the time the trades will knock it off because they don't want to step over it. Remember, we want to make sure the braces stay on until the ceiling joists or rafters are in place. So once we have the corners all in place, we go around, make sure all my corners have braces. What we're going to do is set up for the line braces. The technique I use is a flat brace like this. It helps me to be able to push it or pull the wall in on line brace. The technique I use, start the nails, we place it over the header, and I like to stick the corner of the end cut right between the two plates. It gives a good spot to make sure it holds. Once we do that, now this brace is in place. We have an aligned brace. We find walls on a long wall such as this. We would find walls that we can use to line it. The garage wall here, like this garage wall, exterior garage wall here, this could be used as a line brace. We would come in here, understanding if there is shear placed on it, we'd put it the opposite side of it because we don't want to take the brace off if there's shear going on the wall. So we'll assume that the shear is going on this side, which it isn't, but we'll just assume, give you an idea what's going on. Come in over here. Now we have a brace here. Okay, so this would be a line brace. When we do these braces, once we start plumbing these ones, I will plumb up that corner first, move to this wall, plumb it up. At least it'll give me a plumb wall to start with, and then the outside corner would be the other wall. At that point, we could start lining the wall. In fact, we could actually do that. Put this up here, and then we can show how to line it. So long walls like the one that we're just showing you, there's sometimes you might have to put 2 braces on, especially if there's a joint somewhere along the line with 2 walls conjoint. We want to consider both walls separate. So we'd put a brace facing the opposite direction of the one that we put up in the corner over there. Okay. So when we have a single wall like this, we have to make sure it's plumb when we tie the ceiling joists into it. So what we'll do is we'll put one on the end. The reason why we keep all the braces over there localized, centralized, is so we can keep a clear path through the house or through the residence, so nothing would be obstructing the travel of path and we can get material in. When we run a brace like this on edge, we have somewhere to nail. We're going to place a block on the floor next to it. That way we can nail it. Just be temporary until the... Perfect. Thank you. This is the reason why we try to look, make sure we might see a joint or here or there. I'm going to put one more brace up for our line. What we want to do is make sure everything's up before we start plumbing and lining. All our braces are in place. So I'm going to place one here. You can see, even though it's over a header, this is going to maintain straightness. It might be bowed out alongside. So I'll just put here like this. One of the basic tools that we'd want to use when we're plumbing and lining is called a push stick. A couple ways of doing it. You can nail a couple of 1x4s or 1x6s together, cut it about a length of 10 foot, which works pretty well for the 92¼ inch studs, 8-foot walls. If it's longer, you can increase it. What we want to do is have flexibility. So one of the things when we do this, what I found works really well, if this wall has to go this way, you can notice my brace is in the wrong position. You can take a nail, place it under the end here, and now this wall will slide along the nail and it doesn't dig in. So we can do that to these here. Make sure that these things are not gonna dig in. And now we can start plumbing and lining. What we usually do is we'll have 2 people on the wall. One with a push stick, the other is reading the level. Try to keep everything inside the rooms, inside the buildings. We don't know what the outside is, making sure that it's not in dirt. You can't really plumb bracing in the dirt. So the one thing is, we'll come in here, we'll place the level from top plate to top plate. We'll read it. The person reading it will look at it and tell me which way to go.
It's gotta go to me.
Okay, so what I can do now is take a push stick and push it in here, and now I can...
Good.
Okay, once it's good, still good?
Still good.
You're gonna nail off on the bottom plate. Still good?
Still good.
Now this wall is tight and it's tough. It's not gonna move. Once we have this, come over, pop your brace off, and now we'll move to the next wall here. This way?
Still go there.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna give it
A little bit more. All right, give it some more, Jeff.
If we have a wood floor, use your cat's paw.
I would say nail it.
I can't let this go, so the person on the level would come over and nail it to the bottom plate. Okay, once it's popped off like that, we're going to double check.
I love it.
I'm going to tie it off. I'm going to make sure we have a positive connection midway. Now we're stuck. This is all. We would do this to all the exterior corners before we move on. These here are line braces. We would do these after all the corners are plumb and set. So with this, we'll have, go ahead and come on in, Mike. We'll do this wall here.
Nail it.
Good?
Yeah.
One thing is 2 nails when you're nailing it to the bottom plate. We want true positive connections, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and you can tie it off in the middle.
It's got to go to you.
That way, okay.
It's a hair.
Just a hair.
I love it.
You can see I'm using my foot to keep brace from moving. Hey Mike, can you come nail this?
Yeah.
Place the brace in kind of a weird position. I can't nail it. I can have my partner come over, nail the bottom before I pull my foot on. Okay, so now we have the 2 outside corners. We'll work the inside wall here. Go ahead, Mike, and bring the level.
That's got to come to me just a hair.
Sometimes what you can do here, if it doesn't have to travel a long distance, just use your claw
Whoa, nail it.
and give it a quick push. Okay, now that we have 3 points, the 2 corners and 1 almost dead center, we can actually start lining it. My partner has made 3 blocks for the lining of this wall, making sure it's straight. When we do this, what he does is he cuts it for 3 blocks from the same piece of material. We don't want to mix match the blocks because some are thicker. Right there at the end.
Right here?
Yeah. I put a nail on the side so we can hook our string to it, pull a line from this point all the way to that corner there. Here we just make a loop knot just to hold it in place. Okay, so how we connect down here, what my partner's gonna do is take his finger, wrap the string around it just to make a loop, and then he's gonna spin the string. What it'll do, it'll come back on itself. So now he's gonna start working it nice and tight, where it's really, there's no sag, anything like that. You can see how when he pulls, he can draw the other end out. Once he gets it to a desired tension, all he does is pull the string back towards himself and it ties down on itself. And there we go. At this point, I'm gonna have my partner take the block he has, and where we have braces, he'll run it up, making sure the string just touches the block. If it pushes the string out, I'll pull the wall in. If it needs to come out, I'll push the wall out.
It's got to go to you, Jeff, just a hair.
Okay, so on the inside here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna nail this brace down to the ground. What I wanna do is angle my nails so they don't pull straight out. So I'm gonna put a slight angle on it. Okay, once I have it there, I'm gonna take my kicker. We call these kickers 4 foot. I'm gonna put it here. I will put a tack into the ground here just to keep it from moving. And now I can control the wall by just moving it towards myself.
Oh, too much.
Good?
To you, just a hair.
We can fine tune a wall by just moving a 1/16 or 1/8. Once I have the kicker in place.
Hey, come to me, just a hair, Jeff. Just a hair.
I can tap it off a little bit.
A hair more.
Tap it off.
Right there. Nail it.
Now we got a good line brace. We'll work our way down. We know that this wall, I'm going to have him check this brace. It should be good. If it's not, I will remove the nails and move it to where I have a straight line.
I love it.
Okay, so we know that wall's plumb. Corner, we're using a line to make sure it's straight. The reason why we do line these walls, especially the exterior walls, is for the trusses. Today's modern house, we have trusses that are made from the bottom. We have to take the bottom number and transfer it all the way to the top. So we'll do it one more time.
Come to me, just a hair.
Good, perfect. Okay, so now I'm not gonna do anything but come in here, start my nails, use my hammer,
Too much.
and I can just tap it off a little bit.
Back to you, a hair. Back to me, a hair. Nail it. I love it.
To make sure that this brace is nice and solid, I'm gonna kick it too. I don't want it to bounce or people put anything on it. So I'm gonna come in, I'm going to put this here before he walks away. That way, if it has to be moved one way or the other. Still good?
Yeah, it's still good.
And that leaves a solid brace.